Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vivi and I'm from PBI Class C. Today I'm going to present my presentation about 2000 English curriculum, dilemma and implementation in learning English for junior high school 7th grade student. So in this presentation, there are 3 points or 3 chapters. The first is the introduction, and the second is the review of relative theory, the implementation of the 2013 English curriculum, and advantage and disadvantage of 2013 English curriculum. And the last is the closing about the conclusion and the recommendation. Okay, the first is introduction. The introduction is about the background of the problem. Background of the problem in this presentation is curriculum has big impact in process of academic. Therefore, the good curriculum should be created based on the some aspects. Besides that, curriculum should be supported by teacher, method, and regarding background of student learned. Because factually, in junior high school, especially in 7th grade students, the material is hard of or difficult for students where since they in the elementary school they didn't get any English learning. But when they in junior high school, they should be make a sentences understand of the story. The setback is where the curriculum is not the balance, especially in English learning. English is the foreign language. The students the first time to study English, they need to learn longer than others. From alphabet, word, phrase, sentences, paragraph, story, and etc. Okay, and the second is the formulation of the problem. In this presentation, there are some formulation of the problem. The first is based on the background of the problem above. The writer or me formulate the problem such as first, how the history of curriculum in Indonesia. So in this presentation, I will explain about I will tell you about the history of curriculum in Indonesia. And the second is what is the definition of 2013 curriculum. The third, how 2013 English curriculum to be implemented or processed and student of junior high school. And the last is what is the advantage and disadvantage of 2013 curriculum, especially in English learning. Okay, we will explain about some points that in the next chapter. And the second chapter is review of relative theory. Review of the relative theory, the history of curriculum in Indonesia. The curriculum in Indonesia has 10 times change and development. Start from 1947, 1952, 1964, 1968, 1975, 1984, 1994, and 2004, 2004 or competency-based curriculum or KBK. Then in the academic year 2006 or /2007, school-based curriculum or KTSP was applied for about 7 years. Subsequently, KTSP was replaced by the curriculum 2013 in academic year 2013/2014. The existence of the curriculum 2013 became a great attention and leads to controversy due to this complexity. Therefore, in the academic year 2014/2015, the implementation of curriculum 2013 was temporarily stopped and will be evaluated by Minister of the Education and Culture. Currently, the revised edition of curriculum 2013, curriculum 2013 edisi revisi, is utilized since 2016. So based on the history of the short history of curriculum in Indonesia, we can conclude that Indonesia has some change of the curriculum, because when the century create the curriculum, there are many aspects that have to be thinking, like the era modernization, minister, and the developing of the science. And the second is the function of the curriculum. There are some functions of the curriculum. The first is the adjective or adaptive function. The curriculum as an educational tool has a function to make the individual has a good adaptability to the environment as a whole, both the physical environment and social environment. This is because the environment is dynamic, so it demands individuals who live in the environment must adapt dynamically as well. And the second is the integrating function. The integrating function, it means individuals are part of the society, so that each individual has the ability to integrate with the community. The curriculum serves as an educational tool to educate people become complete and integrated personality. And the third is the differentiating function. Every individual has different from all aspects. This function. The third is the differentiating function. Every individual has differences from all aspects. This function means that the curriculum as an educational tool should be able to provide service to the differences between each person in the community. Then the fourth is the propedeutic function. The function of the curriculum is to prepare students to pursue higher education and preparation for life in society. The fifth is the selective function. This function is closely related to the function of differentiation. The recognition of the differences that exist in individuals makes them also oh my. And the fifth is the selective function. This function is closely related to the function of differentiation. The recognition of the differences that exist in individuals makes them also have the opportunity to choose what they like and what they are interested in. Therefore, the curriculum must be flexible. And the last is the diagnostic function. As an educational tool, the curriculum serves to help students understand the potential and weakness that exist in them. This is useful for students to develop the potential and improve its weakness. It will guide the student to be able to develop optimally. Okay, we have been taught about the some function of the curriculum, and the next is we will talk about the definition of 2013 curriculum. Number 20/2003 about the national education system. Curriculum is the guidelines for the implementation of learning activities consisting of the purpose, content, teaching material, and method which designed and used to achieve specific educational goals. It is clearly said that curriculum is the foundation of teaching learning process. Consequently, the teacher has to comprehend the curriculum to plan a good teaching learning process. Curriculum of 2013 is competency and character-based curriculum. So 2013 curriculum is the curriculum that focuses about the skill, knowledge, attitude, and character. Curriculum of 2013 was born as a response to the various criticism of school-based curriculum 2006 or KTSP. It is in accordance with the development needs and the world of work. Curriculum of 2013 is one of the government's efforts to resolve the first problem being faced the world of education today. They are productive, creative, innovative, effective. Through the strengthening of the attitudes, skills, and knowledge which are integrated. Okay, the next is the characteristic of 2013 curriculum. There are some characteristics that we can see about the 2013 curriculum. The first is developing a balance between spiritual and social attitude, knowledge, and skill, and applying them in various situations in the school and community. The second is putting the school as a part of the community that provides a learning experience so the learners are able to apply what is learned in the school to the community and utilize the community as a learning resource. Giving freely enough time to develop a variety of attitude, knowledge, and skill. The next is developing the competence expressed in terms of class core competencies, which is specific more in basic competence of subject. Then the fifth, developing class core competence into organizing elements of basic competence. All the basic competence and learning process are developed to achieve the competence that in core competence. And the sixth, developing a basic competence based on the accumulative principle, mutual reinforce and enrich between subject and educational level. horizontal and vertical organizations. And the next is the implementation of English learning in 2013 curriculum for junior high school, especially for 7th grade students. There are some process or implementation about the implementation of the 2013 curriculum for junior high school. The first is the knowledge, attitude, and skill are important. Therefore, before the class starting, the student getting pray and sing a national song. It aims to increase the nationalism and the religious of the students. And the second is the student to be center and more active than teacher. In 2013 curriculum, the student is not more to be the audience, just the audience, but to be the center. And the teacher as the moderator, like always in class, we have to discussing about the material. And the third is using several methods in each material. It aims to match between material and the way teacher teaching. So in the 2013 curriculum, the student forced to have the more creativity about the method that they will use to teach material for student. It because to make sense about the method and the material, so the student get easier to understand about the material. And the next is using discovery learning approach or scientific approach. And the next is using them in every chapter of the lesson book. So in 2013 curriculum, in every lesson book, not like in KTSP, it will just about the simple present tense or past tense, but for the 2013 curriculum, the first material, there are some material, or in one them there are some material. For example, the dam has my beautiful word, and there are some material like present tense, adjective, the name of the animal, the noun, and etc. And the next, there are some material in every dam, such as there are name of animal, there are noun distributed adjective in the one dam. And the seventh, the student required to be active in the class, even to ask questions, answer responsive, giving their opinion, observing. It is like the point in the lesson plan. So in this curriculum or 2013 curriculum, the student must be confident and more active to be asking a question or giving opinion to students, to friend or the teacher. The next is, beside the knowledge, soft skill and attitude are important, like discussion and help each other. The students are taught to be creative and think critically of something given. And the last is, the student required to understand in every material in English, even they didn't get the English when they was in secondary school, and it is the harder thing that must be fixed. And the next is the advantage and disadvantage of English curriculum 2013. The first is the advantage of English curriculum 2013. The first is the graduation standard competence is well lowered. According to KTSP, the subject had to be fixed to maintain it. On the contrary, the 2013 curriculum, the determination of graduating standard competence to be had to be fixed first before the subject. And secondly, the 2013 curriculum completes the approximation method based on the student's creativity. The new curriculum fulfills three main components of education: knowledge, skills, and attitude. And the third, the 2013 curriculum is designed continuously from SD to secondary school to senior high school. Especially the senior high school competence is the continue from junior high school and secondary school. And the disadvantage of English curriculum 2013 is culture and language teaching in English in Indonesia. Culture in language teaching, in this case the highlight is in teaching English, is advantage with religious value that mainly shape the student's attitude. This paradigm is taken because the pillars in Republic of Indonesia philosophy, that is Pancasila. And English shall be removed in primary school or secondary school. After the implementation of curriculum 2013, the students of primary school might not have any familiar with the English language. English then will be taught after the students have graduated from the primary school and start their junior school. In this case, students of junior school will probably have difficulties in acquiring a new language that they were not taught before in the formal teaching setting. And the last of the presentation is the closing. The closing, there are 2 points. First is conclusion. Based on the explanation above, the writer can conclude that curriculum is the basic of academic system in this country, and it has some alteration that appropriate of the era, minister, technology, and the necessity of human being. There are some function and characteristics of each curriculum, but the similar of the curriculum is the purpose of curriculum itself, that is to create the better academy. For the latest curriculum in Indonesia, there are curriculum 2013 and the curriculum 2013 revision. The two of curriculum have controversy because the English in secondary school is removed, and it makes students getting harder to learn English. Where English is the foreign language and it used for national examination in junior high school and senior high school. Curriculum 2013 is focus of attitude and soft skill. That's why there are strategies that is used for teaching English, such as using group students of their class and camps. And the last and very last of this presentation is the recommendation. The curriculum is one of the important things that should be considered perfectly. Although the curriculum is adjusted with era, but curriculum should be consistent. Not when the minister changes, the system is changed too. It's because it makes the difficulties for teachers, students, and all people that do in academic. And for English curriculum, please be wise when we'll make a material of junior high school, since they didn't get any English before. If the curriculum in junior high school English is important, we should give English either since elementary school, nor we need to give students more time intensively to learn English from alphabet up to next level. Okay, I think it's enough for my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.